Hi, everybody. This is the Godfather Soul James Brown. I tell you, this business is on. My man is on. Check him out. This is the Godfather Soul James Brown saying stay with it and hit it.
Well, okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you, James Brown. And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Innervision FM. I'm Alan, and the host is in here somewheres. And how's y'all's fine Tuesday going? Got a bunch of work done. Got a bunch of research done, a bunch of studying done. A lot of stuff going on in current events today. As of yesterday, Moderna and Pfizer vaccines were approved.
Yeah. Do you think it means anything that they've been approved?
It means some to those that are on the fence about possibly going down there and getting the potion. And for those that have made their decision long time ago, regardless of any outcome, their decision has also been made. And, you know, unfortunately, there is a great divide within the nation with regard to this. And it really just seems to me, Johnny, that everybody has forgotten that our southern border happens to be wide open. And we do happen to be taking in some refugees from Afghanistan.
Do you know, my wife had told me about the last time they had terrorists in her country, they would go to apartment buildings and they would go and put bombs in the inside. You know, as you had this part where you push the button and you go inside or whatever, or you buzz up or you have a pass key. So they would go and put bombs and explode apartment buildings. And so they had to have people watch, from the apartment to make sure that nobody's putting bombs inside their gates. And that's when they started getting the security gates for their apartment buildings. But it looks like, do we want, I mean, I know you and I and normal Americans don't want that, but it's almost like, does the government want that? And because they have their security people, they say, hey, too bad if that happens to you, but we got ours. I mean, you hate to think that they're that heartless, but it seems like they create a problem, then they come in with a half-ass solution.
Well, I will tell you this, Johnny. I've learned a lot about human nature over the last month or two, and the vax news and the proposed mandates and things that are going on throughout the country has really opened my eyes to things. Now, there are folks that just cannot get that, for whatever health reasons, for whatever reason, they cannot get it or will not get it. And instead of being met with tolerance and understanding, there is active hostility against those that are unable. Active hostility, Johnny. Now, that's the normal American public. That's the two cross sections of society, the vaxxed and the non-vaxxed.
But
and
do you feel like you're in high school again? It feels like we're
I'm not part of the cool kids, Johnny.
Yeah,
I'm
I know.
not sitting at the big kid. I'm not sitting at the lunch table where all the cool kids are, man. I'm under the stairs with the nerds and well, I'm part of the chess club, except for the chess club people, whereas there might have been some respect for those in the chess club. But I feel like I feel like I've been labeled. So not only am I a nerd, not only am I a chess club participant, eating my lunch under the stairs at the school, I got to tell you, Johnny, now it's a situation where not only will the kids not talk to me, the cool kids, but man, the cool kids, they hate me. They think I'm not only do they understand and realize that I'm not cool, they think I'm uncool.
Yeah.
And I've never been in this position before.
And you know what? Well, and, you know, and I think you and I mean, we're more used to this. But what if you were like, if you were a part of the cool kids and all that kind of stuff, and you never experienced rejection because either you're the beautiful people or whatever, and now you decide, well, for whatever reason, you don't want to do this, and now you're on the other side. How fast will people like that crumble because they were so used to being just invited in, accepted, but now they don't have this this pass key.
That's an interesting point that you bring up, Johnny, that you know, being part of the cool kids is by nature some people's bent. I mean, they've been part of the cool kids all their lives. And now suddenly they find themselves either still part of the cool kids table and looking down their nose at those that are uncool, or they're part of the non-cool kids, you know, altogether. But what's different is that there's a division which is being propagated by those who happen to be the cool kids, rather than, you know, everybody saying, you know, everybody's created equal. That paradigm is being smashed. We might all be created equal, but if we don't have that V word, wow, we ain't equal. And that's just all there is. Now, one thing that's going to be interesting to note over the next couple of months and years, an interesting point of study, you know, as it were, you know, as we do take in the people that we do take in because we're a generous people, if they don't happen to have to follow the same rules, the rules for thee and not for me kind of thing, why, you know, it's only going to make things more difficult. So I really don't know where to go from here, Johnny. I mean, we're a kind and we're a generous people. The American people are. We are traditionally, we've always been united around something. And that unity is fast.
I just thought I had to do this one.
That's not really her style.
Do you remember the song? Have you heard
Yes.
Same heartbeat, but hers is falling behind.
How many people can relate to this now? Yes, we don't have the what is it called? The rights to the song, but oh man. Okay. All right, let him listen. Okay.
That's
just
pretty
had to
good,
do that.
man.
I just
Had to do it. Sorry, benevolent overlords up there at YouTube and wherever you might find us live on live streaming and that kind of thing.
And that, by the way, that was Echo Smith. If you're wondering who the name of the group is, that group is. So
I gotta say, I haven't heard that song in many years.
I think it came out in 2013. That song.
Yeah, I haven't heard that song in many years, man. I remember.
No, 2014, 2015. Yeah. Okay,
yeah, I was down at. I had just came down to Denver to visit some friends of mine, and we were down to the club, man, and they put that song on.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Everybody's all happy. They're all dancing around and stuff. Man, I'll tell you, that was 5 years ago. Well, 6 years ago now, I guess. And, man, it almost seems like it was another lifetime.
Oh, yeah. Man, time is going by so fast. I was sitting at my computer, and it's almost like I felt like this. I was reading this book because I'm starting this class up for water fasting with Chris and his brother Steve. And it's 11 class thing. And I'm sitting there like scanning the book and reading it. And it's almost like I said, this is like deja vu, and it seems like it's almost like I think I've been here before, been here, done this. And, it's like, are we living in another dimension?
That's a very interesting thing that you bring up, deja vu being the thinking that you've been somewhere before, or that you're doing an activity that you've already done. And scientifically they've tried to study it and, come up with misfiring of neurons, and, maybe, certain things didn't work out right, or, electrochemically, there was a cross wiring. And so the end result is a deja vu. But I will tell you this, I have noticed throughout my life, whenever instances of deja vu start cropping up, they are directly linked to really big events. So, for instance, I had just started working at the Colorado Center for the Blind as their, Braille instructor. That's what I was hired for anyway. And so I was down there and I was working for them. And by golly, I just had this really strange, interesting, odd feeling that, man, I've been doing this before. This is something not new, even though this is my first day on the job. Well, about a year goes by, and lo and behold, man, I find the lady that I marry eventually and have a couple of kids with. And, that always happens. Every time I have any like spotted deja vu or something like that happen, just wait about 6 months. And there's some pretty big stuff coming down the pike for sure. Life-changing things, big thing. And I don't know what that's all about. Some people say, well, those are psychic energies, psychic experiences, things like that. If you're a Christian, you need to stay away from that psychic stuff.
Yeah.
And I just don't know. I don't know. I do know that I wouldn't use any sort of anything that I might have to displease my creator and grieve the Holy Spirit. None of that. But man, I got to tell you, because you brought that up, I had to mention it. Because what do you think, Johnny? Have you experienced similar?
Oh man, yeah. I mean, there's just been like just this little glimpse of like you're looking in a window and you say, I've seen that before. I've been there. I've been in this situation, and it's very, very familiar. And I think there's a way to like induce that, but I, as of yet, have not been brave enough to go that whole yard to get to that point where I can induce that. I mean, and then sometimes like if you had like a cold and you have a fever and stuff like that, you feel your head is spinning and stuff like that. And sometimes you can get into that mode. But I've heard of this people that are really into like meditating can get into that state. But I don't know. I was like, I'm just not disciplined enough to do it as I chomp on my carrot cake today.
I'm right there with you, man. I swum down about pot and a half of coffee a day, and oh man, all the different things that I do that just aren't as healthy as they could be. Yeah. But I will tell you, hanging out with folks and really deciding to make the right decisions is really where it's at, regardless of whether the world's running down like a clock, regardless of whether we got our current events going down the way maybe a lot of us don't really want too much. But, the idea being always to, just kind of do what you can to go, to I wouldn't say go along to get along, because that's silly. But in order to get along, we have to treat things with love, and we have to treat things with mindfulness.
Hey, and for the people who's just joining us, I've noticed like some people have been coming and based on some of the past like interviews that we had, they thought it's going to be one of those like we're going to be preaching the gospel and saying Bible verses and all that kind of stuff. And it's pretty just we're just having a conversation, inviting you to come join us here on Zoom, or drop your comments on Facebook and what the other platforms. And it's just sometimes we have a freestyle, sometimes we have a special guest. Oh, and our guest yesterday, she was having contractors in her house working on her house, and she just got lost into that procedure.
Oh,
controlling that. So we're gonna try to have her back on next Monday.
Hey, all
the
right.
blind history lady, and give her a chance. I figure like not this week, if she's having contractors in, everything's probably shambles or whatever, and so give her a week to get used to that or get that over with, and we can revisit that next week. Oh, the drummer of the Rolling Stones, Charles, and I can't remember. Listen, let me see if I can get okay. What's the name of the Rolling Stones drummer?
Wasn't it something?
Charlie. Wait. Okay. What's the name of the Rolling Stones drummer? Okay, Charlie, and I keep missing the first name because my phone keeps, but I know it's Charlie. Carlo Little is one of the drummers. Oh, Charlie Watts. Charlie Watts, he started with them 1963.
Rolling Stones are Charlie Watts, Mick Abora, and Tony Chapman.
Yes, 1963 is when he started. Could you imagine being at one job for all those years?
I would love it. I would absolutely love to be able to be making music, hanging out, doing radio broadcasts, whether they be over the FM dial or like what we're doing now. I would love doing this gig for 60, 70 years.
That's wow. So all these years, like, wow. I mean, that is really a faithful guy. And I oh man, and could you imagine the stories?
Oh
being
man,
with the group that many years, and it must have been a fun ride because he didn't jump off the train.
Right.
He said no, they're gonna carry me out boots first or something like that. And,
right.
Or in this case, drumsticks first.
That's absolutely right.
So everybody, this is some Rolling Stones and reminisce. Yeah, if you're too young to remember the Rolling Stones, which I can imagine, they're gonna be going out on tour here soon. So anyway, so Charlie Watts, the drummer of the Rolling Stones. So it is what it is. But anyway, I took a cab home today, and I have a feeling that maybe this guy was a Arabian guy, or maybe he was an Afghan. But man, I hope the people know that it's not us, is this either the deep state government or it's this regime that calls themselves, this installment right here at the White House, and it's not us, the population because we wouldn't do this to children, women, men, and I still hate that scene when I see all these men probably push women aside and say, no, we're more important than you. I don't know, maybe because I've grown up in this society where we say, no, let the women go first. And I know we touched on that before, but I can't wrap my head around that. And, not.
Well, I'm going to tell you this, Johnny, from a logical standpoint. Now, here's what I would theoretically do if I were the leader of an organization that would be wanting to do kinds of things that the Taliban are historically responsible for. And certainly, if I were wanting to get refugees resettled into a country that I maybe didn't like so much, why, what I'd end up doing is I'd set out some refugees. Sure, there might be 4 or 5 women in a group, but there's about 20 fighting age men. But they're not fighting age men. They're refugees, Johnny. Come take them into your country, Johnny. Come on, man. I mean, yeah, okay, there's 5 women here, and yeah, maybe there should be, 10 more, but still got these 20 military age men. Never mind that military age men. They're refugees, Johnny. So take them into your country, please. Please.
Oh man. And it could be like little cells just waiting to blossom.
Well, all I got to say is this. All I got to say is this, man. Do the math for one's self. In this age of censorship, if I were to really speak my opinion, I'd be shut off faster than I don't even know what. But I will tell you this: do your own due diligent research. Look into these things. You folks that are listening to this broadcast, because this is important. This is our stuff here. And if we allow for this to keep transpiring, keep coming true, we are not going to have a culture left. And we are a melting pot of all different civilizations, ideas, societies, all kinds of stuff. But we also have our own culture, which is unique to this world, unique to our time. I mean, and if we, I don't want to say dilute, because that's not the right word, but if we continue to allow folks that are not from here to come here and not have a foundational idea of, hey, look, I love America, I love what it stands for, and I want to help build it. If we keep letting folks in without that ideal, that all they care about is getting here at any cost for any reason, but they don't have the United States Constitution in their hearts, or they don't have a love of freedom, a love of country, love of God, as maybe we do, or maybe they do love their God as we do, but their belief structures are different than ours, thinking that it's okay to just go ahead and lie and cheat and steal. As long as you're doing it to the infidels, it's okay, and it's not okay. It's not okay. It's never okay to lie, and it's never okay to steal, kill, destroy. It's only good to build up, and it's only good to love your neighbor as yourself, to love the Lord your God with all your heart, your mind, your soul, your strength. I mean, those 2 commandments are the commandments that have not only kept Western culture afloat, but kept this planet going for thousands of years.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, once again, you've been watching and listening to Innervision. Like and share this, please. Share and like, and subscribe to our channel. I don't know. These are interesting times. We'll see what happens on August the 31st, because that was a date that this regime, Biden, set forth to be out of there. And now they're saying, well, can we have a little bit more time? And if you had to do it right in the wintertime, right, this would have been no problem. So
Yeah, I think the main focus and the main thrust at the beginning of the administration was undoing all of the evil which the Orange Man bad did to this country, you see. And so that's where the focus was. And by golly, now we're reaping the rewards of why their focus was where it was. And some would say perhaps it's planned. I don't know. I can't say.
Hey, I'd like to give a shout out to somebody who just subscribed to our Switch. And I missed his name, and then Zach McFarlane just subscribed. So if there's any other people that want to subscribe, hey, we would appreciate it and share the show. And we're about to end this and call it a night. And we really appreciate you guys joining us. You know.
Yep, we'll see you tomorrow. Got a good
Yes.
packed show, I think.
Oh yeah.
There's always something on the plate. There's never a lack of stories, Johnny. Never a lack of stories.
I heard that. Okay. I'll see you tomorrow.
God bless.
Come on.